and welcome back to another episode on my channel. This is the first one that I am recording in 2025, so very exciting. It is the first week of January. I think today's the 4th, and so I'm very happy that I am able to get a video out so soon. One of my New Year's resolutions for this year is to try and post more frequently and to just get a lot more content out there. So we're hitting the ground running, and I'm happy that I'm able to do this recording. So, I was thinking to myself the other day, like, how do I go about trying to record more? Because as it stands now, life is really chaotic with a 2-year-old and with our blended family and with 2 parents that work outside of the home. Granted, I only work half day, but the other half of the day I'm running around after my very, very energetic son. And so sometimes, like doing other things, for me, posting content, but doing any kind of other activity really gets put on the back burner. Like all of my hobbies and that kind of stuff, I don't ever really get time to do because I just constantly feel like family obligations and dinners and all of that have to come first. They have to be priority, and like they kind of take up the majority of my time. So I was having like a little brainstorming session with myself, and I thought, like, how am I going to carve time out of my day to try and have a little bit more me time and a little bit more time to record and edit content and do all that kind of stuff. And for me, I think that one of the big things is going to be forward planning, and for me that would include meal prepping, because we get home sometimes at 5 o'clock in the evening, not even, like sometimes I'm home at 6 o'clock in the evening, especially on a Tuesday and a Thursday. Those are the days that I work late. And basically from the time I get home, which is around 6, as I say, till 8 o'clock, it's like go, 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 go. There is no time to do anything else. And then once my son goes down at around 8 o'clock, then it's time for cleaning up the kitchen and doing laundry and that kind of stuff. And so until like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock on those 2 nights, especially in the week, there is literally no time to do anything else. Then I have a little bit more time on a Monday, Wednesday and Friday when I work the morning shift, but the day still seems to run away with me. So what I am going to do in today's episode is to show you 3 meals that I'm going to batch prep on a Sunday night, almost like a bit of a Sunday reset, so that I have this food ready and waiting, that it just needs to be heated up on the days that I work late, or on the days that like the afternoon just runs away with me, so that at least I know that my family will be fed on time and that they're not only getting fed at like 8 o'clock at night. And then also, if it's like a quick warm up, we can eat quickly, and then I can get my son into the bath quicker, and things just happen a bit faster and there isn't so much pressure. Then I also probably won't feel so exhausted at the end of an evening, and I might have a little bit of more energy to do things. So yeah, that is going to be one of the things that I'm going to try to do on a weekly basis, and that is a Sunday night meal prep, just so that food is taken care of in the week. And then I also want to make sure that I'm making really, really nutritious food for my child. As you know, he has a feeding issue. Well, he had a feeding issue, and he was diagnosed with a lot of allergies. He's extremely egg intolerant and milk intolerant, so I can't make any meals that have got those ingredients in them. We're basically going vegan, except we still eat meat. It's just the egg and the milk that he's got to stay away from. But with him being so sick the whole of last year, he really struggled with gaining weight, and he fell off his growth curve. So for me, it's of the utmost importance to make sure that my son is getting like really good wholesome food. He's also anemic, so I need to make sure that there's iron food groups in the meals that we make, so protein, like animal protein and that kind of stuff, but then it has to be paired with like vitamin C and that to help with the absorption of his iron. So I like to make sure that at least the meals that I make, that I'm going to batch prep, are like loaded with vegetables and protein and that kind of stuff. So I've chosen to do spaghetti bolognese, which he absolutely loves. And in the spaghetti bolognese, I blend onions, garlic, carrot, celery, and then I make it in a tomato based sauce. So he's already got like 5 different veggies in there, loaded with nutrients. And then it's obviously the mince that I use, ground beef, and then I put that on pasta, and he really likes that, and he doesn't even notice that the vegetables are in his food, so I kind of like sneak it in that way. Then the second thing that I'm going to make is a lamb stew. It's also tomato based, but it's very rich, and then I like to put beans in it. So there's also like a really nice protein group that comes in there. It's in a tomato based sauce, so we're getting that vitamin C from the tomatoes, and then there's obviously the protein from the lamb. So that's also a really, really nice nutritious meal, and it's probably one of my favorite meals. And then the last one that I'm going to make, that is I think my son's favorite meal, is like a chicken casserole or a chicken stew. And that's also, it's got chicken pieces in it, it's got onions, tomato, garlic, celery, carrots, corn, and peas. So I mean, it's, yeah, if you want veggies, that's the one that's got lots of veggies. And because we can like mash it up and cut it like fine, and we can like mix it together, and it's like well mixed in, my son doesn't really mind the vegetables too much. So at least I know 3 meals in the week he is getting like super nutritious meals that are loaded with vegetables. And then another cool thing about batch prepping is that I'm only dirtying the kitchen once, so I can make as much mess now and then do one big cleanup, and then I'm not constantly every night having to clean up, cutting boards and knives and all that kind of stuff. I mean, obviously there will be the usual dishes, the plates and whatever, but it won't be as much as when I'm making the food, the pots and the pans and all of that. And then another thing that I really want to focus on this year is to waste less. So that's one of my New Year's resolutions, even though I hate to say that I have those. And for me, I want to try and have as little kitchen waste as possible. So we are starting a compost heap. The hole is dug in the yard, and we're going to be throwing all our scraps in there. But going a step further, I want to see if I can reuse anything that I like offcuts or whatever. And the 2 things that I have looked at doing is drying out the garlic and the garlic skins and all of that, and drying out the onion skins, and then making like a garlic and an onion powder, like savory flavoring from that. I've googled a couple of videos and it looks easy to do, but what I have noticed is that you almost need like quite a large amount of these scraps to make like the whole process of drying and blending and all of that feasible. So the nice thing with batch prepping is I'm getting all of those like scraps, the whole bang shoots, in one go. I mean, I cut up like 6 onions in one go, and I probably use about 12 cloves of garlic in one go. So then I have my garlic skins and onion skins and all of that ready for collection and to dry, and to see how that turns out. Because previously I've been trying to keep the scraps, like the garlic skins and all of that, from when I've made meals during the week, but I don't know if I'm not keeping them properly or if the weather is just working against me. But I've had to throw 2 batches of the garlic skins away already, because they've ended up with like mold spores on them, and I'm keeping them in the fridge. I've tried keeping them out, it hasn't really made a difference. So my plan is to get all of the vegetables cut and all of the compost ready and batched in one go, move it to the compost heap, and then all the stuff that I'm going to dry will be put in the fridge overnight, and then I will be able to do that tomorrow. So that is the introduction to the video. I am quite excited to start getting cooking. I'm actually going to time myself also to see how long it takes me to batch prep all of these meals. So the time now is 6:45 in the evening, so let's see how long this takes me to make. so I'm pretty much done with the chopping. I still have a tomato to chop, but I want to just get the food into the slow cooker for the chicken stew so long so that it can start like browning and doing its thing, because we're actually going to eat that tonight, just because we're now in the mood for it. So I'm going to get that on the go. But as you can see, I have separated the ingredients into 3 different bowls because those are for the 3 different meals. So this is going to go into the chicken stew slow cooker, and in here I've got carrots, celery, garlic, onion, and I'm going to be putting a tomato in. Then this bowl is for the lamb stew, and so far I've just got garlic and onion in here. I put the beans in later. And then lastly, this is my bowl for the spaghetti bolognese, and I've got also carrots, onion, garlic, and celery in here. And these will be blitzed. So let's get on to cooking the chicken stew. Okay, so far we have the chicken stew that is busy cooking. It's got about 8 minutes left until I can pressure cook it. In the meantime, I'm going to start with cooking the rice because, like I said, that's what we're going to have for dinner tonight. So I've just got some brown rice over here, just to give my son a little bit extra fiber and that kind of stuff, just to help with his gut. So the brown rice does take a little bit longer than the white rice to cook, but it should all be done in the same time and ready at the same time for us to eat. So let's get the rice on. Okay, so the last thing that I do before I put the lid on to pressure cook is I add some potatoes that I cut up, which I know I didn't mention earlier, completely forgot about them, but I do add potatoes as well. It just makes it nice and thick, and it makes it less watery, and it gives it a little bit more substance, makes it go a bit further. And then I also add some frozen corn and some frozen peas, about a handful of each. And then, yeah, everything is then ready to cook for about 20 minutes or so, and then it's done. And the chicken is so soft and the potatoes are cooked all the way through, so that's when we will eat. And in that time, while this is busy cooking, so over the next 20 minutes, that is when I'm going to quickly do the lamb stew and the spaghetti bolognese. Okay, so I'm done with 2 out of the 3 dishes. The last thing that I have to do now is the spaghetti bolognese, and that will require me to blend a couple of the ingredients. But the actual cooking of the bolognese sauce goes fairly quickly, and that's why I've left it for last. So we still have my lamb stew that's on the cook. That's going to cook for quite a while, like probably about an hour or so, but I'm not worried about time because I don't plan on eating it tonight. And that's pressure cooking in my very old pressure cooker. And then our chicken stew is almost ready. It's got a few more minutes to go, and then that's what we're going to eat now. I'm hoping to finish the bolognese by the time that the chicken stew is ready, and then that will be all of my meals done and ready. And then I'll just wait for everything to cool, and I will put them into containers that I can use throughout the week. Okay, so I finally finished cooking all of the meals, and now all I'm going to do is let them cool down, and then I will be able to transfer them into some other dishes and then store it. And that is that. It is quite late, it's about 9 o'clock, and if you remember I started at 6:45, so that's about 2 hours and 15 minutes to do all 3 meals, but I did stop for dinner in between all of that. So my son was getting really hungry and I wanted to just make sure that I could sit down and have some food with him, and then I went to put him down to sleep. So that probably took a good 45 minutes to do all of that. So, you know, this probably took me about an hour and a half altogether to do everything. So really not bad in terms of how long it takes to do everything. But yeah, I'm now just going to clean up a little bit so that I can go to sleep with a nice clean kitchen, and that will give the food time to cool down. We are finally done with everything. Here are my 3 meals. So this is the chicken casserole, that's the one that we had tonight. And I mean, as you can see, 3 people have already eaten off of this and there is a ton left over. This is my spaghetti bolognese, and then this is the lamb stew. And I'll just leave those to cool a little bit longer before I put them in the fridge. I don't want to mess up with the fridge's temperature. But then it will be quick and easy to take out of the fridge. If I don't plan on eating them anytime soon, I can also freeze them. They freeze very well. And then, you know, like in the evening, I can always just come home and put on a pot of rice or a pot of spaghetti or something like that. And that'll take a few minutes, but I know that the base of my dinner is already done. So that's really going to take the pressure off of me. And this is something that I like to do, or that I will get into the habit of doing on a Sunday evening. So that I can, yeah, like I said, have more free time during the week. I also just want to show you this. This is how much compost I got from everything. So it's the potato skins, it's the ends of the carrots that I didn't use, it's some onion and that kind of stuff. But then these 2 bowls are what I want to use to dry and to make the spices. So in this one I have got the garlic skins, and because it's such a little bit, I'll probably end up putting it with the onion skins and just have like an onion and garlic combo. But then I also, while I was busy cutting up everything, thought that I could probably do the same for celery. Dry the celery out and then blitz it with salt, and then that would make like a homemade celery salt, which could also add like a really nice flavoring or savory spice to things. My mom likes to eat it on popcorn, so yeah, you know, I'm going to give that a try as well. So that's going to be in the next video that I make, that I'm going to try all of these dried things and see how they turn out. I've never tried them before. I'm literally going on recommendations from YouTube videos that I watched, so I'm going to give it a try. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, well, then I'll know. But yeah, that's it for this evening. I hope that you have enjoyed watching this video. It was a bit of a marathon session for me, but it is done and I'm very happy with everything. Like I said, it took about an hour and a half altogether, and now the only other thing I have left to do that's going to be a bit time consuming is cleaning up all the dishes, but I only have to do it once, so there's also that. Anyway, if this type of content is what you like, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. If you are somebody that likes to meal prep and also has a family that they've got to care for and likes to have ready-made meals that they can do, like that they can prep beforehand, please leave a message in the comments. I love new ideas and I'll certainly give them a try, and then that can just sort of add to my repertoire of dinners that I can make for my family. Until next time, have a fantastic evening. Bye.